I get. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. eSIMstudios, how's everybody doing today? Let me just double check my audio here. Sounds all right. So, we have, I guess, a big reveal today. It is Monday, April the 13th, 2026. Good Monday here. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Time to see what's going on in the tech world. Now, before we get started, I would like to mention today's show, the YouTube channel, is sponsored by Lyca Mobile. You can get 18 gigs of high-speed 5G data per month. You can get 10 gigs high-speed 5G hotspot data per month. Unlimited talk, unlimited text to over 100 countries worldwide. All for just over $7 per month. $7 per month for all that. 18 gigs of data is way more than the average person uses. It's enough to watch movies, play games, do all sorts of stuff on your phone. Fantastic deal just for eSIMstudios YouTube viewers. Link down below in the description. Look for Lyca Mobile. It's under the little sponsor tag. So you can port your number over. You can even get a new number. Maybe you need a second line, business line perhaps. A line for family, a line for friends, a line for business. Hell, at that price, you could get like 2 or 3 lines for the same price that their competitor offers just one line. So it's a fantastic deal. And when they approached me with that, I was like, well, yeah, it's a no-brainer. So link down below, Lyca Mobile. Okay, now we jump into deals of the day. You know, I always come with all the good deals, always looking for good deals. And I thought, you know what? Why not add it to my stream, because it only takes an extra second or two. So let me show you what we have deals of the day. We're going to get down to chargers. Everybody needs a good charger. I've got plenty around here that I find on our Amazon flash sales. So here's some really good chargers I'm going to show you right now. Let me share my screen. Check this out. Not that. That's coming up. We're gonna jump into the Oppo Find X9 Ultra. But first up, we have this Anker charger. It says MacBook charger, but you can charge anything with it. It's 140 watts Gan Charger. This includes a 5-foot Type-C to Type-C cable. On sale, 35% off, only $64. Limited time deal, so you're gonna want to check it out. If that's a little past your budget, even though it's a fantastic deal, normally it's $100. If it's a little over your budget for what you want to spend on a charger, I got another deal for you. I always got another deal. So I got another Anker charger. It's about half the price. It's maybe in, maybe more your price range. Look at this. Another Anker charger, 43% off. Used to be essentially $70. Now it's $39, and this is a 100-watt charger. So this is plenty enough power for essentially any phone. This even will still charge a MacBook, laptops, your phones. Your S26 just bumped up their charging, so this will fully supply all the power you need for fast charging. $39. Limited time deal, link down below. So let's do this. Let's jump back in to the Oppo Find X9 Ultra. You know, the more that I see this device, the more that I see it in photos, videos, it doesn't look so bad. When I first saw it, I was like, ugh, what a bad looking. Now, it wasn't hideous like the Nothing Phone 3, and I've even come around a little bit to the Nothing Phone 3. I actually this morning, for the very first time, was wondering, should I get a Phone 3? Every time, it's so ugly. Every time before this morning, I was like, hell no. Now, I didn't have when I first saw the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, I didn't have that same feeling of, oh my god, it's hideous. I need to tear my eyes out. My eyes are ruined by looking at it. No, that was the Nothing Phone 3. This Oppo Find X9 Ultra, I was like, not really my style. I can see why people would like it. I just think that camera hub on the back is just a little too big. But now that I see it, I was like, it doesn't look that bad. And once I start thinking that, it's going to snowball into, let me see if I can grab one. Let me see if I can get one of these, right? Because, it's almost like a design that'll grow on you. Now, here's the thing that you're going to want to remember. This thing is going to be the very best camera phone in the world. So, you might look past the looks department when you look at the production of its videos, or the quality of its photos. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're going to look past it and be like, damn, this takes freaking, it's going to be like DSLR image quality. It's going to blow you away type of quality with the photos and videos. So I'm like, once you see the performance that it's going to do, and this thing's spec'd out on all the specs, RAM, storage, memory, obviously cameras, audio, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, it'll be the best hands down. So I'm starting to think, now I hope if you want one, probably gonna need to grab one pretty soon, because we discussed yesterday, and I'm not gonna get into it today because you can see those videos that we did yesterday, but this might not be available for long for users in the United States from Oppo. Now, you can always go on eBay and grab one on eBay and have it shipped to you, but this Oppo Find X9 Ultra and the Oppo Find X9s, the smaller, it's like the Find X9 Pro, but the S version is smaller, which will look like a OnePlus 15, just smaller. That X9s and the X9 Ultra will be available to US consumers on April 21st. They're launching this globally, but with the looming FCC ban that's coming on April the 30th at the end of the month, it only gives you about 9 days to potentially purchase one, at least officially from Oppo. So if you are interested, sucks for US buyers, but I would go ahead and grab one, because if you can't, and if you don't, you're gonna have to get one off of eBay. And then, of course, there's depending who you buy it from, there's a return policy, but I always feel more comfortable buying a device from the manufacturer. Warranty issues if that comes up, and all of that stuff. So it is what it is. But we got new colors. I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm going to show you some images, and this thing looks pretty cool. So we got new colors today. Let me show you exactly what this looks like. It actually looks really freaking cool. So here's a photo of the device from the side. Now, it's not going to be the thinnest device you'll ever see in the world, but remember, it's got those enormous cameras inside there. And it does have a capture button, just like the iPhone does. And there is that from the back again. You got this showing that pretty good sized camera bump. Whoops, we just saw that one. And then look at the back. It has like a faux, it's not necessarily leather. It's a leather feel. I think it's hard. Like, how leather is kind of soft. I think this is not technically leather, but it has that leather texture, And then it obviously has the metal frame. Very interesting styling that they decided to, detail it with. But I think it looks decent, right? It could be worse. So I'll just put it that way. It could be worse. But here's another side photo. It has actually 5 cameras on the back and 1 on the front. So this thing has a total of 6 sensors. 6 sensors. Pretty freaking incredible. This upcoming Oppo Find X9 Ultra is heavily teased to feature significant camera upgrades across all of its lenses. Camera upgrades every single lens, including increased light intake for the main sensor, ultra wide, telephoto, alongside a new selfie camera and improved color correction sensor. Rumored specs suggest that main camera might utilize a 200 megapixel Sony LYT901 sensor with the 3x telephoto potentially using another 200 megapixel OmniVision sensor, and the 10x optical zoom employs a 50 megapixel Samsung JN5 sensor. So Oppo is also launching a special Find X9 Ultra Hasselblad Earth Explorer Master Set. It's a mouthful. A collector's bundle inspired by a $1,400 Hasselblad camera. So they're taking the styling of this phone and they're kind of giving it the look and feel and style of their old school cameras. So we just went over that kind of look, that leather look, that kind of brushed dark gray aluminum metal. That's the same kind of look of a classic physical Hasselblad camera. Digital, well, I guess it wouldn't be digital. Would it? Anyways, you get the point. One of the old school cameras that you actually have to point and shoot before phones came along, right? So they're kind of, scheming it, kind of making it look like the same kind of colors, same kind of look, same kind of feel as an original Hasselblad camera. It's going to extend. They have this little kit that you can extend like telephoto things onto the back of that camera there. It's going to include a telephoto extender and photography accessories. This photography set, what do they call it? The Hasselblad Earth Explorer Master Set. Yeah. So for the first time, the Oppo Find X9 Ultra is expected to be officially launched outside of China globally. And you will be able to grab one April 21st, as I mentioned. Now, if you want to dive into some of my show notes, I also have a link below where you can find all my show notes, all these articles that we're looking at here, all this news, all this information that we're discussing. I have bullet points and sources of information, sort of like what's on here, that if you want to dive a little deeper, please be my guest. Go down in the link below. It'll say show notes. And I shared my Google Docs. I enabled access for everybody, including you. So please go check out the show notes. This Oppo Find X9 Ultra is going to be a stunning camera phone with global aspirations. This new Oppo Find X9 Ultra is going to launch globally in 3 different colors. So there's a Tundra Umber. Never heard of that word before. UMBER. Tundra Umber. Canyon Orange. And there's also a white color. Now, I don't think the white color or the light color, maybe a white or a really, really light silver that looks kind of white. I think that's going to stick in China, the white one. But for global variants, you're going to either choose between this color here that we see on the screen, or there's a iPhone orange color. So yeah, they chose to do the iPhone orange, but whatever. So this design features strongly shows the enthusiastic classic camera feel with the faux leather and distinctive orange accents, not just on the orange not just on the orange Oppo color, but that camera button. No matter what color you get, that action button for the camera on the side of this Find X9 Ultra is going to be orange. Oppo has indicated that Europe will be included in the global release, with the device scheduled to officially launch on April 21st. Now, it has me wondering how they're going to maneuver this United States thing, because I can see them, honestly, with the way the world is right now, with the way the United States is right now, because the rest of the world is like business as usual. It's the US that's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they launched it globally. Well, they are, but if they included the U.S. In that global launch. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they did a global launch minus the United States. Now I say that because there's now a 50%. There's a 50% tariff on China goods, and is that even official? I thought the Supreme Court told him he couldn't do tariffs anymore, but he said now there's a 50% tariff. And that would include this Oppo Find X9 Ultra. Now, why would Oppo as a company want to ship phones to the US where it's going to be heavily taxed and or heavily tariffed? They don't know if it's going to be 50% one day, 35% the other day, 15% the other day, 19% next week. They don't know is the FCC going to ban this on the 30th. We just don't know. So if it is available, they announced the launch of this globally before all of this end of the world stuff happened, right? Or not end of the world stuff, but you know what I mean. Before all this mess happened with the US and what everything else is going on in the world. They announced this before kind of all this popped off, or right around there. And just since the announcement, you hear the FCC is going to ban all Chinese electronics, including phones. The RAM thing has it's been out of hand for a while now, but it's just insane at this point. And it does kind of affect these, but they've already produced probably a couple million of these phones that are sitting in the warehouse ready to go. So, but more importantly, what's going to come between US users and this phone is the FCC ban and the whole tariff thing. I'm sure it drives companies outside of the US insane. So I wouldn't be surprised if they said, yeah, it's globally, and then minus the US. Like on April 21st, when you go to their website, do they even have a US version of their website? Let's find out. Official site. So they do. So I'm obviously here in the United States, but do they have a buy button? Because here's the thing, they can have a website, but there's no purchase now or buy now. It's just, put on display. I don't think there is. Let's find out. Let's go to smartphones. Let's go to the Oppo phone. Let's try to buy one of these, right? Well, there is no button to buy. So, sucks. But I can see them doing this with us here in the US with this new Ultra. It's an absolute ridiculous. Makes me so upset, but whatever. We'll just pay attention to the channel. I'm gonna keep everybody up to date on what's going on with the Find X9 Ultra and any other device that they release. For the matter, I'll try to keep everybody up to date with as far as will it be available to purchase? If so, how much is it going to be? Are they adding taxes on here for the tariffs? Will it be even available? I have no clue. But I promise I'll try to keep everybody up to date every day. If there's news, I'll bring it. So we have that. Now let me show you the other colors that we have for this X9 Ultra. So here's a little camera kit that's really cool. I really like this stuff. And now that I was telling you at the beginning, the more I see this phone, the more I'm starting to like it. Remember at the beginning, I was like, oh, that thing's ugly. I don't like that camera stovetop oven on the back of the phone, but I get it. It's they're mimicking a real camera phone, and not a camera phone, a real camera. So kind of looks like one now, especially when you put the kit on there. This thing's gonna be freaking fantastic photos, videos. Just gonna blow everything away. You can see here everybody knows Oppo devices already took good photos, and then look at what they did here. This is compared to their last flagship. So that main sensor, 10% more light intake. They're on their 3x optical telephoto, 36 more light intake, 36% more light intake. 10x optical telephoto with their 230 millimeter focal length, up from 6x optical zoom on the Find X8 Ultra. So that ultra wide camera is getting 56% more light. Their 50 megapixel selfie sensor, 56 more pixels than before. Even their special multispectral sensor for color correction, 43% more light sensitivity. So I've never had an Oppo phone. If you have had an Oppo phone, you know, I'm sure that they take really good photos. This looks like a huge step from just the last generation. And as I mentioned earlier, the last generation took fantastic photos. So this thing should be stunning with the quality. I mean, it again, I really get upset the more I think about it, that us here in the United States that love technology, love phones, can't get our hands on these things. It's sucks to be an American right now. But where are the photos here? I know I just had them and now I can't find them. We'll find them. So here's this Hasselblad Earth Explorer Master Set. Now this is going to cost, I'm sure, a pretty penny. It's going to cost a lot for this extra add-on kit. I don't even know where to get it. I'm sure you can buy it from Hasselblad from their website if you're available to buy one. Extra add-on with the phone. I think you can buy just the phone itself. And then I think you can buy the kit, the phone and the extra kit, as well as just the kit. Say you just want to buy the phone on April 21st, and then stuff's expensive. And then like maybe a month later, you want to buy the kit. I think they'll have that as well. So they should have 3 options. The phone only, the kit only, and then all together. I mean, that's what I would do if I was in charge of Oppo's e-commerce site. Look at this thing. That thing, wow. You should get some really good photos with this thing. Holy crap. That's insane. Wow. I'm getting excited. Let's see here. I want to see these colors. I gotta see these colors. Where the hell are these colors? You can't tell me I lost my colors. We shall find the colors. How's everybody doing today? Y'all doing all right? Am I gonna get one? Maybe. It depends on if they include. Now I'm starting to think they might not include the US. When they say global, I'm starting to think they might go global, just minus the United States. And again, now that I'm thinking about it, why would they go through all this? Remember, they have to get this certified by the FCC. And it's very expensive. They would have to get this certified for the FCC to sell it here in the States just for 1 week. And then the FCC on the 30th is going to ban the Chinese electronics, Chinese phones. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why would they spend all this money on FCC certification just for being available for 1 week in the United States? Like, what? So it doesn't make sense to me, quite honestly. So I'm not sure it will be available for United States users. I want to get one, but if that's the case, if it's not available for US users, at least it's available for global users. Now, that means that I can go jump on eBay and grab one. So I probably will. Now, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get one like on the 21st because the prices are going to be sky high. When you buy on eBay, usually takes a month or two for the prices to come way down. So I'll probably get one, but it's not going to be till, I may get one for my birthday as like a birthday present to myself, which will be in the summer. So I'll probably get one just because I can't wait to see, I would like to get one. I think I will. It's going to take a few months. Let's see. Yes, I do too. And I'm going to pull up the colors here in just a second. North Carolina, what's going on? I don't have anybody from North Carolina watch the show. I don't believe so. I mean, I'm sure I have, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Again, at this point, if I was in their company, honestly, if I was an Oppo employee, worked in, I don't know, in the office, front office, right? Like, in not an executive, but if I was a high level management, I would make my claim and let my voice be heard, not to sell in the U.S. Now, hear me out, because I think I explained myself a few minutes ago, like why, if this FCC is banning coming on April the 30th, no Chinese electronics, no Chinese phones, why would we pay for FCC certification just to put it up for sale on April 21st, just to be available for sale for what, 8 days? It doesn't even make sense. So I would just say, if I was an Oppo, I would say, let's just skip the US market. Look, they've survived this long and done very well not offering their devices to the US. So I'm sure they'll be fine this year. And plus, they're opening it up to all countries, not just the China market. It's going to be all countries, Europe, everybody. So this thing's going to sell well. So I would almost say, let's just skip the US market this year. It's way too crazy. Maybe we'll sell the X10 Ultra next year there. Who knows? I just don't know at this point. It doesn't look good. I'll just put it that way. I'm already sold on this one. I just sold my X9 Pro, waiting for this one to drop. No kidding. Wow. See, that's the one I wanted to get, but I was like, well, if I'm going to get one, I might as well just get the Ultra. We'll have to see. We'll see, and we'll see what the prices look like. Stay tuned to the channel, because I'm going to definitely cover this. Let's look at some of the colors here. So here it is. This is on Reddit. So here we got an orange and the white color. So these are the two colors outside of that one that I just showed you. The original one that all the YouTubers have is that slate gray and faux leather looking one. And then you have an all orange and you got an all white or a light silver. You know what? I kind of like the one that we were just looking at earlier, the slate gray with the faux leather. I kind of like that one, because with this orange one, I got an orange iPhone and I regret getting the orange because it looks ugly now. So I don't think I would do orange. The white doesn't look too bad, but here's the thing. The contrast between the enormous camera hump on the back is black and the rest of the phone is white. So it really stands out on that phone. If you get the slate gray one that we were just looking at, that some of the YouTubers have, and the ones that you'll see in all these promos, marketing materials, the sensor that I'm not too big of a fan of, as far as on the looks, kind of blends in with the back of the phone, so it doesn't make it stand out as much. You see what I'm saying? Like, it kind of blends in pretty well. So I think the one I would go with is that slate gray with the faux leather. I think that's the one I would get. Plus, if you get that extra kit, what is it called? If you get the Hasselblad Earth Explorer Master set, if you get that, remember, that set is just one color. It's like a dark gray, slate gray color. So it would match that slate gray X9 Ultra a lot better than it would look on the white one or an orange one. The colors all go together on that slate gray one if you're going to get the master set as well. So then, just something to think about as well. But I'm very excited. I love technology. I know y'all do too. That's why you're watching. And it upsets me so much that we get left out. But like I said, if you really want one, jump on eBay and you can grab one. Just expect the prices to be a little high when this is launched. But like I said, if you can wait a month or two, the prices will come way down. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to grab one on eBay. But absolutely, looks phenomenal, looks incredible. This looks to be the absolute cream of the crop, the absolute very best Android phone to date ever made, essentially. Because you say, well, how can you say that? What about the S26 Ultra? Well, the S26 Ultra is cool and all, but everywhere where the S26 Ultra lacks, this Oppo Find X9 Ultra blows away. So it has everything the S26 Ultra has and way more, right? It's got the fantastic operating system, right? Samsung's known for having a lot of a lot of settings, a lot of customizations, and some really good specs too. Well, so does this phone. It's got phenomenal specs. In fact, the best you can find. It'll have the very best camera ever put on a phone. The operating system, buttery smooth, full of customizations, full of settings. Just fantastic. You know, my only concern, and I think if you have T-Mobile, I think you should be fine. I don't know how this is going to do with carriers. You know, again, if you have T-Mobile, you should have no issues whatsoever. Or T-Mobile MVNO. That's why it's hard for me to go away from T-Mobile, right? Because I always have an unlocked phone from somewhere, and I never have an issue. It's always when I do network testing with Verizon or AT&T, I always have issues. So, anyways, I think if you have T-Mobile, you'll be fine. And hands down, this will be the best Android phone ever made, ever built. It should be fantastic. Give me just 1 second. Apologize about that. Life hits sometimes, but let's see. I'm going to have to go here in a few minutes, but we shall finish this show. How do you feel about Honor Phone as a brand? They remind me of early OnePlus with the crazy specs and hardware at a cheaper price. However, the software is nowhere near as good from what I hear. I've never used an Honor Phone. I would like to. I really would. So you're probably asking the wrong person. Maybe somebody in the comments could help, but I've never used an Oppo phone. I've never used an Honor phone. I've used one Xiaomi phone, but that was years ago. We just, as US users, get screwed with phones and stuff, and it really sucks. Again, you can buy them on eBay. And I probably should start doing that. Or not just on eBay, but you get it like online retailers. I probably need to start branching out a little bit and trying some of these. I think I've made my mind up. I think I'm going to get this Oppo Find X9 Ultra. Give that a try. Since OnePlus is going bye-bye, it's time to go to the next best thing, which is Oppo. In fact, I probably should have been buying and using Oppo from the very beginning. But OnePlus got me on the OnePlus train, and it looks like I'm going to have to hop onto the Oppo train. But I would love to try Honor. I might look into some of those. I know they have some actually really decent mid-range phones. So I might see. I'm going to return my Nothing Phone 4a Pro just because I have major network issues on there. I think I did uploaded a video earlier today showing you just that. It's ridiculous. Like, it could be such a great phone and it hits you in the gut with network issues. Like, that should be a bare minimum. Should have zero issues with, and it's got a lot of issues with my Nothing Phone 4a Pro. But yeah, I'll definitely check out some Honor phones. I might jump on eBay here when this is done and see if I can get my hands on one. I'm gonna need a replacement for my Nothing Phone, so I might do that with an Honor phone. Now, before we get out of here, I wanted to jump into a few things. So, Motorola, love them or hate them, they still make phones. They're still out here making a signature, making the foldables. Were they the original foldable? I think they were, with the OG Razr back in, like, I don't know, 03 or 01 or shit. Maybe even 98, 99. I remember I was in high school and everybody had the Moto StarTAC, right? So they're back with a new Razr this year for 2026. This is going to be a refresh, just like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8 is going to be a refresh from the Z Flip 7. And that's okay, honestly. I think that's all right. Now, the Z Flip 8, the new Samsung foldable, is going to have a new processor, right? It's essentially going to be the same phone with just a newer CPU. Well, Motorola is going to hit you this year with a refresh, but it's going to be the same CPU as last year. And that's all right. The Snapdragon 8 Elite that's going to come in this new Razr Ultra for 2026 is a fantastic CPU. You should have zero issues with that. In fact, the reason why they're probably doing this, quite honestly, is to try and keep the prices down. Brand new CPUs are more expensive every year, especially the flagship sensors. Now, I know they're asking right around $1,000 for this, for the Ultra, Razr Ultra. But you got to remember, we just went over this yesterday. The price of parts are skyrocketing. So if they can save $100, $150 on using last year's flagship CPU, and they can, make a profit on this phone, then that's what they're going to do. So I get why they're doing it, and I'm not going to shame them because they're trying to stay in business. If they put the brand new the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 in this Moto Razr Ultra for 2026, it'd probably be $1,200 instead of $1,000. And I don't know exactly what the price is, but you get the point, right? It's not cheap. In fact, I think they went up 38% this year. Flagship CPUs from Qualcomm, price increase this year, just like everything else. So it would be more expensive. So you get a brand new Moto Razr Ultra 2026. Honestly, if you like this phone, what you should do is go get you a Moto Razr Ultra from 2025. It's literally the same phone, and you could probably find a used one for like $500. I'm not even joking. Probably what you're going to want to do. I mean, I think the only upgrade is the battery in this. It's maybe a tad bit bigger. We add like just a few percent bigger than last year, but literally everything's the same. Processor, memory, battery, kind of. This year's a little bigger. Sensors, screen, display, refresh rate, UFS storage. Everything's relatively the same. And there's one thing on here you gotta love about Motorola is their Connect. What is it called? Motorola Connect. It's like Samsung DeX, but better. Yeah, you heard me right. It is better. I reviewed it about a month ago. It's freaking awesome. It's better than Samsung DeX. So that should be enabled on here. So I actually like what they did with their flagships. They just need to update them, right? That's the story of Motorola right now. They're actually putting out some good products. They just gotta keep them updated. So let's see here. Now, what else do we got? What is going on? Good evening to you. Well, let's roll into Samsung real quick before I get out of here. One UI 8.5. So the One UI 8.5 beta is rolling out to more Galaxy devices, older Galaxy devices. Now I say older, but it is coming to older devices. I think, what was it? Last week, they came out to the S25 series. And now they're coming out to S23, S22, Flip 7, Flip 6, Flip 5. I believe this has, let's see here, Samsung's rolling out One UI 8.5 beta to a larger range of older flagship and mid-range devices, including Galaxy S23 FE, A35, A55, Z Fold 5, Z Flip 5, as well as the Flip 6, Fold 6, Flip 7, Fold 7, Flip 7. You get the point. The beta update introduces quick share to AirDrop compatibility for file transfers between Galaxy and Apple devices. The key enhancements in One UI 8.5 include the new Bixby, quote unquote, powered by advanced LLMs, expanded. Damn, I just activated my phone here. Expanded AI features like audio eraser and now nudge, which I forgot this phone has on there, but maybe I'll look into that when this is done. Users can enroll. If you're interested, here's what you do. It's pretty easy. You can enroll in the beta program by going to the Samsung Members app. It's one of the bloatware apps that Samsung installs on their phones, Samsung Members app. And if you go in your app drawer and you can't find it, search for it. If you still can't find it, go to the Galaxy store, the Galaxy App Store, and just search for Samsung Members app. Download it, install it, open it up, and right at the top of the app, it has, like, you see where this keeps on sliding, this sliding ad right here where it keeps on going left. There'll be, what do they call it? A little billboard, a little tag. It'll say Samsung, no, excuse me, it'll say One UI beta program. Simply click on that, prove a couple things, and away you go. And then you'll get an update notification shortly after that. And you're off to the races. Just beware when you download and install and enroll in a beta program. When you exit, you got to factory reset your device, which sucks. So I got to roll, calling, but I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.